Plaintiff, Monica Johnson, gave birth to the defendant when she was 17, and they were always close. Monica claims the defendant started acting out at age 16 and even swung on Monica. So Monica put her out, and she eventually became emancipated. Monica took the defendant back in after she had a baby, but she's suing her today for car registration fees, rent, and damaged property. Defendant Shantavia Taylor admits that she started acting out when she was a teenager, and once that happened, her mother got confrontational and became physically abusive when disciplining her. Shantavia says she did move in with her mother after she had her child, but says she was forced to move out due to the violence.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Tell me what happened.
Shantavia is my daughter. I had her when I was 17. We kind of grew up together. We were always kind of close. She was a good student. When she turned 16, she actually graduated from high school.
Right.
But the thing was, right before graduation, I had caught Shantavia having sex in my home, grounded her. She didn't like the punishment she received.
What was the punishment?
She was going to be grounded forever. Basically, until she moved out my home.
One step short of the electric chair.
Right.
Right.
But like I said, she was pretty good. It was just caught me off guard. She started running away from home. So as she continued to run away, I just would call the police, report her as a runaway. They would bring her back. At one point, they brought her back. I said, take her to a facility. I didn't know what to do at this point. When she came home from the facility, Shantavia decides when she's getting out the car, she's going to swing on me. Me as a parent.
Time she arrived back?
Yes. So me, I did, I'm not going to lie, I punched her in the face, threw her on the washing machine and said, look, you have two options. I'm going to let you off this washing machine. You can go upstairs to the room, or you can get off this washing machine, swing again, and I'm going to fight you like a broad in the street. Take your pick. She got off the washing machine. She went to her room. I went to bed. Got up like 2 a.m. She was gone. I said, that's it. She then began, she ran away to her biological father that she hadn't seen for years. Of course, him trying to make me look like the bad person. They went to court. She started saying she was abused since she was 5 by me, which had never happened before. Like I said, I did punch her the one time. That was it. When we went to court, I just told the judge, she's 16, she has a job, she graduated, emancipate her. I don't want her. He asked me, did I want visitation? I said, nope, I don't want to be responsible for her at all. She stayed with her father. We didn't talk for about 2 years. I ended up moving from Las Vegas to St. Louis. Shantavia had called my sister. She's close to my sister and explained that she was having some problems where she was living with her biological grandmother because her father had put her out. She had became pregnant, had a baby. So my sister says to me, that's your daughter. She has a baby. You got to take her in. You got to do something. I can't remember if I called her or she called me. However it was, we spoke. I said, look, you can come to St. Louis with me, but if you come here...
I have rules.
Exactly, and you need to go to college. You need to check in school. You need to get a part-time job. I have 2 other kids. We'll help you with the baby. My sister will help, but you have to do what's right. Mm-hmm. She comes to St. Louis. Everything was fine for a while, and we just started having issues because she was taking advantage of her sister, who's 13. Sister was babysitting the baby.
How old was she at that point?
Maybe 19,
when
18.
She came back? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she was working part-time, but I noticed she was going to my sister's, getting drunk, doing things that she shouldn't be doing. She's not 21. She had a baby. I didn't think it was right. So I told her, your sister is always watching the baby. I'd get up in the middle of the night. My little girl would tell me, Tavia went out and woke my daughter up to watch the baby. I said, you need to pay your sister at least $20 every 2 weeks. She was watching the baby every day, the whole summer. Her whole summer was taken up. She didn't want to pay her sister, so she decided to take the baby to somebody else. She didn't want to do it, so now we're starting to fall out.
Let me hear from you, ma'am.
Well, first of all, the relationship with my mom was fine. Like she said, until I turned 17, I started wilding out, doing what 17-year-olds do. And
not all 17-year-olds.
Well, what some 17-year-olds do. You know, I went through this phase. I was running away from home a lot, but I have never hit my mom. I will say that. When she caught us...
She said you missed, right? She didn't say you hit her.
No. I never...
She said she hit you. You swung and missed.
No, I've never swung at her.
Okay.
When she caught us, she jumped on top of me. She started choking me and hitting me, so I left. They sent me back home because they said, you're not 18, you have to live at home.
What time are you referring to where they told you you had to go home?
The first time I ran away.
Okay.
And then the second time I came back and everything was kind of quiet for about a week or so. And then she wasn't taking me to work or picking me up from work anymore. So I was walking. And I came home and she was mad because she saw my boyfriend at the time walking me home. So she jumped on me and that's when she threw me on top of the washing machine and choked me and pulled my hair and punched me. I've never hit my mom.
Why'd you run away the first time?
Did she
jump on you then?
Yeah. That's
she
why.
She jumped on you then?
Yeah, the first time is why I left.
Describe that incident.
Well, like she said, she caught us having sex, so she got mad, she jumped on me. And she was choking me, pulling my hair. He had to get her off of me. And then I just left.
Okay. Second time, same thing, jumped on you when she saw you out on the street with him.
Yeah, so she jumped on me again. And that's when she had hit me in the lip. And then after that, like the third time when I went upstairs, I just left. And I never came back, and I went to stay with my dad. And like she said, yes, I had to go to court so he could get custody. It's always like confrontational with her. She's very confrontational with me. And she's
How so? Give me an example.
She's just recently tried to fight me when all this happened and I moved out. She came over to my aunt's house telling me to come outside.
About what?
The mattresses I took, she says they weren't mine, but they were because the person who lived there before, this guy who used to live with us, he said that I could have them. So my aunt told her back. She was probably there for like 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
So then after that, she left. She finally got her to leave, and then she just recently got in my face again on Halloween.
About what?
Because my brother and sister wanted to see the baby, which was fine. But after my mom had said what she said about my son, when my son has nothing to do with anything.
What did she say about it?
He's not her grandson. We can both die. She doesn't care. So after that, I did not want my son around her. So I said, if they want to see the baby, that's fine, but they have to come in the house because I don't want her to be around my baby. So she comes inside and she was like, you're so ignorant, and she's just going off on me, getting in my face. My aunt's once again in the middle, holding her back.
What about school?
I did go to school for a semester. My mom was not helping me babysit. My sister was not babysitting for me when I was going to school because that was during the school year. My uncle and my uncle's mom were juggling back.
Let's get back to why you didn't continue in
because
school.
I don't have a babysitter. I don't have a solid babysitter.
All right,
for going
go
to
and
school.
talk to a few women that have like 6 kids and no babysitter, and they work 2 full-time jobs and they go to school. They'll tell you how to do it. All right? Go and get a look. You got some people I can refer you to them. Go ahead. Because you're going to be in poverty all your life, you and your children, unless you go and get some type of skill. Go ahead, ma'am. You've been violent against her like this? We got to get to these car payments and the rent you're suing, but were you violent this often against her?
On the day that she moved out of my house, her and I had some words because I don't like for my kids to
She says the reason she
argue.
ran away, let's go back there, is because you were attacking her.
No.
You attacked her when you caught her with the boy.
No.
I believe.
No, only the time that she was in my house. When she came back from when I had her locked up.
How many times have you jumped on her?
The one time, and the time that I caught her in my house.
That's 2 then.
Yeah, well, the 2 times.
If we talk a little further, it'd be 3 and 4.
No, but I didn't really jump her. I just pulled her off out the bed.
Let's get to the car payment and the rent, ma'am.
Okay.
What's going on?
On September 14th, she moved out. When I went downstairs, she had left everything a mess, threw stuff all over the place. I had a storage area in the basement that wasn't finished. She had pulled some of that stuff out, just threw things everywhere, dumped boxes over. She just threw stuff everywhere instead of cleaning up.
So is that for the cleaning fee?
Yes.
Is that the portion?
And I have the
How
pictures
much
for that.
For that are you?
The $150.
$150. Now, how does she owe you for rent and a car payment?
In September, she didn't pay me for that month of rent, which was $200. And then on June 8th, she had asked me, I had gotten her 2 cars. The second car she had got.
Now, this is a mess.
She had asked me, could I give her the money to get her car registered because they were going to charge her a late fee. I told her I'd give her the money as long as she paid me back. She was getting a second job. She told me she'd pay me back, and I have the receipt for the registration she got.
How much was that?
$317.05.
All right. Ma'am, what do you want to tell me?
I actually moved September 5th.
Okay.
And
did you give her notice you were moving?
She knew I was moving because
How did she know?
We talked, and
when?
I want to say it was like a day or 2 before I moved out.
Who, you told her you were moving?
Yeah, because she said we need to figure out what you're going to do and when you're going to get out. So I talked to her and told her I would be out as soon as possible when I could find a place. But being there was like I had a panic attack like the day after me and her got into it. So like it was best for me to leave for my health. So
What about the registration?
the registration, she did pay for the registration on my car.
What about the $150 for the cleaning fees?
That basement storage area is always a mess. It's always looked like that. It's always been
Is
a
that the
mess.
storage area, ma'am?
Yes, but as you can see on there, all of that is kid stuff. Her stuff that was
Storage area?
Yes, she had it in boxes and she like tipped it over.
Ma'am, I'm like her. Storage area is always nasty. And why don't you think you owe for September's rent?
I moved out September 5th. I wasn't there for the whole month of September.
You have to give 30-day notice when you're living with someone as a tenant. You can't just move out, as you said, in a day or two and not owe. Ma'am, I give you $517. That's for the registration and for the rent. Have a good day. $517 for the plaintiff. Hope you all work it out. Have a good day.
I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done too. I don't want anything to do with her.